Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another week in GTA Online. Before we start, I do want to mention the footage you're looking at. These are all the vehicles that are on sale this week. There's over 60 vehicles that are all 30% off. So if you see anything scroll by in the footage, then that is on discount. So if you want to pick it up, then go to the appropriate store and have fun. Now diving into the actual meaty and greety of this week, there's 25% bonus cash on import and export sale missions. So that means that you will be able to walk away with $100,000 worth of profit if you sell a high-end vehicle. If you want to know how to always get top-tier vehicles, then I'll leave an eye in the sky that will guide you to a video that I've done many years ago, but it's still as relevant today as it was before. A very handy little trick so you never have to deal with any mid-range vehicles. The TLDR version is basically that you have every single car in your inventory that is standard and mid-range, and then you will only get top tier cars if you want to save yourself 3 minutes. 25% of biker business supplies, so if you weren't already buying supplies, now is a good week of doing so, because it will make buying supplies about $20,000 cheaper. Also double cash an RP in Trading Places Remix and Entourage. Between those two, Entourage is definitely one of the cooler adversary modes out there. Trading Places Remix, not a huge fan of it. If you want my personal advice on the double cash, honestly I'd say go for the import-export stuff. If you have a vehicle warehouse, you haven't used it for a little while, get the dust off and get going again. It's $20,000 extra for every car you sell, so the best way to go about it honestly is in the 20 minutes you have to wait for your car to sell again, you can source 2 cars, or you can go to your biker business through your bunker to resupply that and check on it, and just kind of keep going like that. You'll be making about $300,000 if not more if you have a biker business or a bunker every single hour really. So there's good money to be made this week, so if you're in dire need of some cash, now's the time to do so. Also, because the cargo bob is on sale this week, it might be worthwhile to pick it up, because import and export missions get a whole lot easier if you just simply use the cargo bob. And it would also make sure that you don't get as much damage on your cars than you would drive it. It really depends on how much of a driver you are, but typically you'll take a lot less damage. And a little trick as well, if you want to only source high-end cars, there's an eye in the sky to a little video I did years ago. It will show you how you can do it. In addition to the discounts I've already shown, there's also 30% off vehicle cargo warehouses, special cargo warehouses and their upgrades, and also 40% off all yachts, yacht renovations and add-ons. Now, if you want personal advice, honestly, I'd say if you don't already own a cargo warehouse, definitely a good opportunity to do so, mainly because the upgrades are also discounted and you'll be making about $300,000 every hour by simply only doing the import and export stuff. So you should be able to make it back relatively quickly. Do keep in mind it will take you a bit of time in order to do so, but even without the bonus cash that is going on right now, the import and export is still one of the best ways of making money. It's always a reliable way of making $80,000 every 20 minutes, which rounds up to $240,000 every hour. On top of that, of course, you have your other things that you could do too. Even having a special cargo warehouse and buying that with all the upgrade might also be a good idea, because then you can combine doing crates with also doing import and export. If you happen to have a terabyte, you can launch your special cargo mission from your terabyte, and essentially you'll never have to travel back to your CEO office, apart from one time after 20 minutes where you have to source another vehicle so you can sell that again. Another thing that I should probably note as well, to avoid confusion, you're able to consistently source new vehicles and keep stocking those up. However, selling a car will take 20 minutes of cooldown. Premium races this week. On May 16th, you'll be playing Cutting Corners Locked to Supers. Now, if you want my personal advice on that one, I'd say either get the Wagner or the Vesti 8, mainly because of the 2 straight lines in Cutting Corners. The Vesti 8 has some of the higher top speed in its class, so using that will definitely be one of the better options. However, because there is some pretty sharp corners that require a bit more acceleration, the Wagner might also be a very good choice. The difference between the Wagner and the Vesti 8 is not all too big, and especially because there's slipstream going on, you might also be better off using the Wagner because of the cornering abilities that it has over the Vesti 8. On May 17th until May 20th, you'll be playing Crossing Paths, which is locked to the Sports Classics. You can have 2 choices in this one, either the Turismo or the Cheetah Classic. However, I personally feel that the Cheetah Classic is a little bit nicer to drive, but it's just my personal opinion. In terms of how fast they are, there's not a massive difference between the two, so it really just comes down to personal preference. And on the May 21st until May 23rd, you'll be playing Business Trip Locked to Supers. Now this one is a little bit more on the straight line kind of thing, so definitely the Vesti 8 will be the best choice here. However, the Wagner would also be a good choice to go for as well. Either of those two will do nicely, mainly of course because of the slipstream that is going on too. Do keep that in mind when picking a vehicle. And that brings us to the end of this event week guide. If you find this useful, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe for more, and also make sure to check out all the Red Dead Online videos that I have done over the past few days, because there's been a big update for Red Dead Online, so if you missed that, make sure to check it out on the channel as well. But with all that plugging aside, I'll see you all later.